Hi, everybody. This is Alan Fine, and I'm here with Cindy Doust, who's the new president and CEO of American Queen Voyages. We are on the American Queen itself, on its inaugural 12th season on the Mississippi, and we're going to talk about how American Queen Voyages is reinventing itself with the new president and her vision here on Insider Travel.
Happy to be here. This is my very first cruise. So not only is it our inaugural cruise, it's my first cruise.
Well, what I want to talk about is what did it feel like, because I got footage, and everything I'm going to talk about is trying to get footage out there.
Okay.
What did it feel like for your first address to your guests on the ship?
I think there's always a couple of emotions. The first one is pride at seeing the return faces, the people that are so happy to be back with our staff and on their beloved ship and on the voyage, and a little bit of fear, because there's a tremendous legacy to live up to. And I know the staff's looking up to me, and it's a transition from John as the founder who built this dream. Now, as I take the journey forward, there's a little bit of fear.
Well, he and I talked, obviously, see John Wagner's interview here on Insider Travel Report, and you definitely cut from the same cloth, because he'll fix things right away and you jump right in. So what did you do to prepare for this job, and why American Queen?
Wow, this is one of those answers probably a little longer than you want. I prepared, first of all, by serving as the CEO for the global cruise line industry and really learning about the industry, the value of cruising. And for me, it's the best vacation choice, because whether it's river or ocean, you get on one time, you unpack, and you either see different countries or you see these beautiful little different destinations. So the years at Clear were just invaluable. I also had the last 4 years working for a private owner of a land-based American Queen. So these are historical properties. Right. Every one of them had a different vibe. And my owner, Curtis Bashaw at Cape Resorts in Cape May, New Jersey, his focus has always been on the guest experience. Everything he did was based on the guest experience, and you worked backwards from that. So I think the combination of Curtis's passion and attention to detail with these historical properties, that each one was different, combined with the industry knowledge, put me in the place to come back to cruising. And then my personal taste has always been the passion for the small ships. And I love the rivers, because you do get to be more intimate with the destination. So those three things, I think, made this for me perfect. And then on top of it, it was North American focused, which we gotta love too.
Okay. So, for travel advisors who don't know, let's do a brief little overview of river, lake, ocean, and expedition, because there's a lot there.
So what's great about American Queen Voyages is that we do have an expanded offering for our guests. We operate on 7 rivers. We're in the Pacific Northwest, obviously the heartland of the country. And then we also have our lakes and ocean voyages, one of the very favorite, Chicago to Toronto. So we have a little international flair. And then, of course, we've got our light expedition, which last year was our first launch, our inaugural season, and we received award recognition for Best Light Expedition. Mm-hmm. So a lot of options, depending on whether you want a little bit of activity or a lot of activity, or you just want to relax and enjoy a very slower pace.
All right, so let's talk about what you're planning for reinvigoration of 3 categories: culinary, excursions, and entertainment.
Okay. I think it all starts with getting back to the core basics of what we do. If you look at where American Queen Voyages was born, it's the river. So we're going to start with a focus on all of our river products to make sure that we have a standardization of service. There's a different vibe for every boat, and guests will self-select which boat matches their vibe. But we want to make sure that our service standards, our food quality standards, our culinary program, and our excursions, the standard of excellence is across all of the products that we offer to our guests.
How are you planning on reinventing these 3 categories? Let's start with the culinary, obviously.
So culinary, to me, goes to the heart of the entire experience. All of our memories are really rooted in our senses, and taste, smell, food, and they are so connected to the destinations. That's why I want to start with culinary. I just want to take what we're doing and refine it, and having more of a connection both on the menu makeup, but also the presentation and the recipes to the local destinations that we're visiting. So it is getting more back to the roots of where we're traveling.
Well, we're getting an interview with the chef, Regina Charbonneau, and she's going to talk us through her thinking about these dishes.
Well, and it would be a sin to have someone as talented as Regina, not only for the middle of the country, but for Alaska and the Pacific Northwest.
Yes, yes.
She has been such an incredible marketing asset for us and working relationships with guests and doing, tastings and dining in her home, but really to have her presence participate in the ship as we design the menus, as we create the recipes, as we train our staff. But I also want to talk about our partnership with America's Test Kitchen. So we really bring these two great experts together. They've already had brainstorming ideas of how we create recipes together. And then when I think for a training aspect for my young culinarians, I've got America's Test Kitchen that their sole purpose is ensuring that individual cooks can be successful through trying and testing recipes. So what a great equation for me to have Regina and America's Test Kitchen working together, then to provide training for my culinarians. It's going to be pretty exciting.
Let's answer the same question. How are you reinventing excursions?
So same thing. If I look at the destinations that we have, what's the very best that's in the destination? So you start with the obvious, the tourist attractions that people are must-haves, must-want to visit. What I really want to do is get into the stories of what they don't know about. We were just in St. Francisville yesterday and visited a little area that has an oyster bar right on a sandbar where they can do tomahawk throwing, they can do kayaks, they can do fishing. Now, they have a little bit of work to do, as they said. They need to raise up the area because it does flood it at certain times of the year, so that doesn't work for us yet. But having the vision and showing me where we can go, it's right off the boat. It's less than a half a mile, I think, off the boat to have this beautiful open air opportunity for food and beverage as well as really active excursion options is really where we want to go.
Now tell us how you're reinventing entertainment.
That one's probably a little early still because this was my first cruise. I haven't seen all the talent that we have. We have some amazing talent. I don't know if you saw the Diana Ross show last night with Michael Lynn. She also did a New Orleans, like bluesy, speakeasy entertainment the first night. Amazing. The level of skill that young woman has could be performed anywhere. But again, like everything else, we want to look at what we have. How does it resonate with our guests? And how does it fit with the local destination?
Right. Well, and of course, Mark Twain made an appearance.
He did. He was quite clever last night. He had some great one-liners. Right. And there's nothing more charming or quaint on this cruise. Wouldn't fit on another one. So I had the opportunity to go to the Great Lakes to see the entertainment we have in the Pacific Northwest. I think it's a holistic look. I would love to have the idea of having more comedy and some variety. So maybe it's a variety that we look at.
That's great. All right, so let's talk about, there was a concept that you presented, the 3 Ps.
Yes.
People, ports, and prestige.
Yes.
Explain that, please.
So it starts with people, and of course the people that I care the most about and invest the most in are my own team. And, the rewarding thing from the guest is over and over and over, you've heard it, they love the staff. The staff love them. They are families. It's amazing. So my job, my commitment is to give them the tools and the clarity and the resources they need to do their jobs, the training to continue to talent up. The other people are our travel advisors, because travel advisors are the matchmakers that understand all of our products, understand their guests and why they're traveling, who they are, what their budget is, and make those great matches. I have said for years, when a travel agent makes the best match, I have a cruiser forever. So that's my second group.
And you have diverse products, which they have to learn and they have to come visit.
The thing for cruising, even as an industry, is we're tough to book. If I just look at American Queen, I have over 200 itineraries. I have 7 different ships. I have all these different seasons. So you need an expert to understand how to select that right cruise for you. And then people will self-select the ship they like, the cruise itinerary, but it's great to have that help. When it comes to the ports, obviously, it is important to us that we're great partners with our ports. They're part of the destination. They're part of that experience. And I think I have some education to do on the river and catch up there. Prestige really is our product. And it's everything we've talked about, elevating the experience for our guests and making sure that the standards of quality are consistent across all the products, but they're going to have a different vibe. If I'm on the Countess, it feels like a sleek contemporary. That may be for a girls' weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Coming on the Queen, it's a step back into time, and it's the
history.
Antebellum Museum, mansion. And it's, for me, it is like coming home, but I can't wait to get on the Empress, and I haven't been on the ocean boats.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them has a different vibe. And then, of course, we've got the Expedition.
Mm-hmm.
So prestige isn't defined as easily as one thing. It's elevating the standards across all of them.
Let's go back to the ports, though, because you're working on the economic impact and how you can help the ports. And we saw that time and time again with let's talk about each stop.
So it's simple things. I want to engage better with the people that are in our different ports and our destinations. A couple of quick things we did on this trip. We found a couple of local bakeries that are amazing. They're family owned. And so a treat for my guest would be to have fresh baked goods brought on board at 7 o'clock in the morning, but have someone from the bakery come tell their story. And if we're going to guarantee something like that throughout the sailing season, that's a wonderful thing. Creating those partnerships, but also the port development itself. I had the opportunity again in St. Francisville to understand where we are, how we can partner together to create a better experience for the guest and ensure, whether it's high water or low water, that there's a safe environment to bring the boats in, and then there's an easy access to the different excursions. So that's not work you do overnight. That takes time, and I still need a lot of education and have to visit many more ports, but it absolutely is a priority.
But we saw it as guests, cheerleaders and welcomings. And I want to show the footage. So talk about those, please.
That was probably the most fun part for me in this cruise. We, again, with my team, trying to move away from excursions and activities we can just purchase to something that's curated and is very organic. So in St. Francisville, we got one of the local high schools to come out, their band. They played as the Queen came up, and you saw that day, it was so foggy. All you really saw were the smokestacks.
It was great.
It was amazing footage. So these beautiful young kids in high school, the dancers were lined up, the band played for us, and the kids welcomed everyone ashore. And just the visual, and I hope you do have some of that because their uniforms were bright blue and white and black. And then you see the Queen coming out of the mist. It was a magical moment, and the kids loved it.
And then you supported the school system.
Yeah, so rather than writing a check to a business that is selling me a service, if I can buy some new instruments or uniforms for the band or help the schools a little bit, that's really my vision.
Mm-hmm. And every morning we were welcomed by every port.
Well, that probably won't happen with every cruise.
But Vicksburg, we certainly had.
Vicksburg had all the locals come out. The mayors have been great. Natchez rolled out the red carpet. We had the local ROTC cadets come out and do the color guard drill. We had merchants in Natchez. We had 70 different merchants come out to greet us and talk to us about partnerships. The welcome that we have received up and down the river is just, it's something you couldn't anticipate. It's been amazing.
So it was almost like a networking session in Regina's restaurant.
It was absolutely that. That's the learning for all of us. Let's take that great wealth that exists within every destination, find those things that are the surprises, and really offer them to our guests.
One thing the travel advisors have to tell their guests is that you're pretty much an all-inclusive product.
Absolutely. Every day guests have the opportunity to have unlimited tours. They also have the option if they want to buy up to a premium tour, but included is your pre-night hotel stay, your breakfast, on board all of your alcohol, your taxes, your port fees, your gratuities. And the great thing for the travel advisors, this is commissionable. Yeah. So we really wanted to make it easy for the guests and a great option for you as travel advisors because it's one price and it's commissionable for you.
Right. You guys aren't bragging about a facelift, but the ship looks great. And I don't remember having bathrobes and slippers. And you're really hedging on that, that upper, you're trying to be luxury. You're not, but you're getting so close. Tell us more about that.
Well, this goes back to the standards that we discussed. At this point, I would describe our experience as premium and premium consistently. We have to get together as a leadership team, and we're still new to define, do we move forward to a luxury? Because with that comes a price point too. So I think there's a lot of information that needs to be gathered from our guests. but certainly the robes, the slippers, the amenities, the suites we offer every day, free room service, complimentary hors d'oeuvres. It's a beautiful product. And getting back to your question about the boat, we always have a responsibility, first and foremost, to make sure the ship is maintained in a way that everyone is safe. That's first and foremost. After that, it's aesthetics. Yeah, the Queen just came out of layup and she's looking pretty sweet. Mm-hmm. Beautiful new carpeting, a lot of soft goods, but she's treated very much with love. So she's a beautiful girl.
Are you planning anything else for the other ships? Any other?
This year, it was a focus on just refreshing, cleaning, some new soft goods, and again, making sure the boats are safe.
So you're at the helm. You made some key changes. Do you have any personnel you want to talk about other than Regina?
I have a great team. There were openings, and so it was important that we have a team that is looking forward. Our HR leader was the first one that we needed to recruit because I wanted somebody who was focused on culture. He was amazing. We have wonderful new vice president of marketing. People in the industry probably know Angela Composto. She's had Silversea, Ritz-Carlton, and Crystal. Tremendous experience. We have an excellent vice president of sales. Kevin Smith's been with us for years. Great relationship with the travel advisors, our consortium partners. It's a great group. It's a very, very strong group.
And a subject dear to my heart, Starlink.
So Starlink is an investment we just made, and we just rolled it out with this cruise. I think where we still have opportunity is to find where we want it to be the strongest. It is available in all of the public spaces, and obviously...
Well, this is internet. I used the code word Starlink, but what about internet? So where is it available?
All the public spaces, 5G, connectivity, amazing speed. What we need to look at is what level of investment do we want to make in all the rooms? But we're very, very happy to roll it out, and you all have been the first ones to try it.
I was able to have a Zoom conference while here.
Yes. There you go. There's your own testimonial.
Okay. So we go out to over 112,000 travel advisors. What do you want them to know as we wrap up?
Well, first I want to say to you, thank you. It really is, for us, so important that we have the opportunity to connect with our travel advisor community. You're the ones that match those best guest options to the right guests. And we can't do this without you. And we would ask you to make sure that you are familiar with all the products. The itineraries are going to be changing slightly this year. Make sure that you take advantage of all the opportunities that we offer for education, whether it's a fam trip, visiting us. We do videos, seminars. Make sure you know your products.
And how can they see that? Is it at your website, or is there a special portal?
The best thing they should do as a travel advisor is contact any of our sales team, because they can come out and fit your schedule and make sure that you're part of a personalized experience. Certainly go to the website, but I think it's better work through your sales team, because they'll connect you with what you need.
Well, congratulations on your position. It's in good hands, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with the company.
Thank you, and thank you for being with us on the boat.
And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.